Sophie Kornowski. I joined Gurnet Point Capital last year, and I'm a senior partner in the firm. What we do at Gurnet Point is we are a long-term investor. Our fund is coming from the founder and owner of Serono, which was a pharmaceutical company created in the early 1900s in Italy. And the fund is a long-term view. So what we do is we identify companies which have assets that are mostly de-risked, but they still could be in phase 3, or they could be done launching the product, or they could even be at the time of funding a company where we evaluate that the R&D risk is limited. Then we invest and we stay for the long term, and we help the initial founder to build the company, grow the company, and possibly acquire other assets that we put inside the company. So pharma out-licensing opportunity, so it's a very specific question, which is a company wanting to get rid of some products in its pipeline, just to be clear. Most of the time, there is a strategic question. You have a constant change of the R&D strategy and the focus of companies, even though nobody would say that, it's still happening quite a bit. And it can happen that you out-license a product or technology that you are very sorry you did so a few years later. That's already one mistake. The second one is to really be short-term and think, I want to maximize my upfront, and I don't really see the bigger picture. And in that case, you may not take the candidate company that would actually ensure that they will develop the product to reach the patients and deliver the mission of an R&D organization, which is basically to take care of patients. So that would be another mistake, just focusing on the short-term financials. And the third one is to think that R&D out-licensing is not important, and you really are responsible then for leaving on shelf just really impressive innovation coming from the pharma R&D pipelines, because you have a lot of great people in the companies, and it's a bit of a shame to never get it to the market, but then it's a matter of resource allocation. What we wanted at Roche, and what in general is attractive, is when you have innovation that is fully differentiated, that you really believe that this science, this specific target, or the science pathway, or the way of looking at a disease is really different from what you've seen before. That's one. And the second thing is that, and you have a sense that you understand how to tackle the uncertainty, you understand the risk, and there is a path forward that seems reasonable with very knowledgeable people around the table. If you have all this, then it's worth investing the time. If you are missing some of those elements, you may be in very long-term scientific new ideas that you have to think twice before you get into it. Maybe it's not the role of a pharma company, or maybe at times it can be. Try to make sure you have simple processes, because if we have to talk to 5 or 7 or 10 different people, it makes it difficult. Have a sense of urgency. Because a deal, if it's a hot time for a deal, then there will be a cool time for the deal eventually, because other things are going to happen. And sometimes the rhythm of an academia is not the same as a pharma, not always. I've had an amazing experience recently with an institution that within 2 to 3 weeks was able to rethink completely an agreement for the benefit of a deal and the patients and the small startup, which was really choking on a specific situation. So it can be just really impressive at times. So I don't know what is a sponsor, but I've had I don't know even if I have had mentors. I've had advisors and friends. Most of my ex-bosses have become friends over time, including those that were not the easiest to work with, including those that, I didn't have the best relation with them. Because if they had something to bring me up in my professional time, and if I was able to detect it, then I just really invested the time, and luckily I always had a good reaction on the other side. So it's been essential to make the right decisions and to grow up a little faster, because if you are really working hard, you can be a bit immature as a youngster, and those professional friends really help you to, get the best out of yourself. So it's been just instrumental, I would say. Working teams make friends. We always meet again. You never win against people. You win with people, and if you don't win all the time, it's not so important. You win next time. I think the best the best idea I have of a career is, of course, invention. What business did you invent? What science did you invent? What new concept did you invent? And what is your reputation? When your name is mentioned in a group, what do people say? I think it's important to think about it from the very start, to think about it genuinely. Like, who do I want to be as a professional? I think this is really important. Not just I want to be the boss, I want to achieve a lot. This is, if you are a good person, you work hard and you make friends and you take risks, most likely you'll have a great career. Even if you're not ending up being the CEO of the biggest company on the planet, you'll get to a good place and people around you will appreciate that.